The elected sheriff of Berkeley County, West Virginia, has just been indicted by a grand jury on charges related to a video that I showed you about 8 months ago, where he showed up to a car wreck involving his 22-year-old daughter. Do you remember this?
You have a preference on the tow truck, ma'am?
No, I'm gonna let my dad take care of it. My dad will take care of it. My dad's Nathan Harmon. He's on his way right now.
Okay. You have a preference in the tow truck, sir? She's up there in the truck. I just got him out of the roadway, so traffic went.
Have you talked to him? Is she drinking?
I can't tell.
Okay.
She's right behind you. I'm pretty much done. All I gotta do is just leave a note for them so I don't get in trouble by state law.
But anyone who watched this footage knew what was happening. On January 20th, it was reported in the media that Berkeley County Prosecutor Katie Delegati was requesting the appointment of a special prosecutor in response to the public's outrage to the video footage showing that county's elected sheriff Nathan Harmon responding to the scene of his 22-year-old daughter's extremely suspicious car wreck. The wreck happened on January 6th. The sheriff's daughter, Carrie Harmon, claimed that she was driving to her friend's house to have dinner and to watch movies, but that a deer ran out in front of her. The roads were wet, and she swerved to avoid the deer and then wrecked.
Not hurt or anything?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Just need your license, registration, insurance?
Gotcha.
You said the deer actually hit you?
Yes.
You have a preference on the tow truck, ma'am?
No, I'm gonna let my dad take care of it. My dad will take care of it. My dad's Nathan Harmon. He's on his way right now.
Okay.
But what really appears to have happened is that her father helped her cover up the fact that what really happened was she was driving while intoxicated. Most of us, after having crashed while under the influence, would have actually been investigated by the responding police officers. This means that they would have tested our breath for alcohol, given us field sobriety tests, and so on. But that's not what happened here. Why? Because the investigating officer who responded was a deputy for the same county where the driver's father was the elected sheriff, his boss.
You have a preference in the tow truck, sir? She's up there in the truck. I just got him out of the roadway, so traffic went.
Have you talked to him? Is she drinking?
I can't tell.
Okay.
She's right behind you. I'm pretty much done. All I gotta do is just leave a note for them so I don't get in trouble by state law.
In my first video on this, showing the body cam footage at the scene of the wreck, I warned you that the cover-up is always worse than the crime. This was a fork in the road. There were two options here. Either don't get involved beyond checking on the welfare of your daughter, or abuse your authority and engage in a cover-up. The obvious conclusion of my first video was that the choice from the very beginning was to engage in a cover-up. After all, this is usually what happens when law enforcement gets caught doing something wrong. Why shouldn't that extend to family members? The only problem was, it was on video, and ultimately the public got to see the footage. That's the only kryptonite to government misconduct. But for the video footage and the public outrage, there would have been no special prosecutor appointed. The elected prosecutor of that county even admitted this. She was the one who was supposed to investigate and prosecute the sheriff. She wasn't doing her job. She refused to do her job. It took the release of the video footage and public outrage to prompt her into saying that although she didn't want to do it, she would ask an outside prosecutor to look into it. And this is in fact her full statement. I have seen the releases to the media and the public response. Out of an abundance of caution and to ensure transparency, based upon requests from the media and the public, I am asking that a special prosecutor be appointed to review the incident of January 6th, 2023. So this was just out of an abundance of caution and to ensure transparency. I mean, it was obvious, wasn't it? She doesn't hesitate to investigate and to prosecute the regular people, does she? Why not just say that you requested a special prosecutor? Why frame the decision as being out of an abundance of caution? That implies that you don't believe that the sheriff did anything wrong, but you just want to ensure the public that a second set of eyes reached the same conclusion. Even the sheriff believed that the prosecutor and even the special prosecutor would be on board with him. During his radio interview, he said, "When Katie and I talked about this special prosecutor, you didn't see it, but I was jumping up and down for joy, because wait until that comes out. I can't wait until the special prosecutor's review is done, because then it will be my turn, and it will be my turn." So he's calling the prosecutor by her first name. That's like saying, "We're friends, wink wink, and she will be loyal to me." He's also implying that he spoke with the prosecutor beforehand and gave his blessing for her request for the special prosecutor. He was probably just so used to everyone in the system covering up for law enforcement misconduct that he refused to even consider the possibility that he might get in trouble. But anyone who watched this footage knew what was happening. The indictment here alleges that Harmon obstructed the investigating deputy at the scene of the crash. Now, did he obstruct the deputy, or did he conspire with the deputy? Was it not obvious that the deputy knew that the sheriff's daughter had been drinking? That's why he laughed.
What? Have you talked to him?
Uh-huh.
Is she drinking?
I can't tell.
Okay.
She's right by you.
Sheriff Harmon did a live radio interview on January 24th responding to allegations of a cover-up. Harmon said his daughter wasn't impaired, that the responding deputy did not suspect impairment, so a field sobriety test would not have been done. He further said that no breathalyzer was performed because there was no indication that his daughter was impaired. You don't go up and stick a tube in someone's mouth just because. You have to have reasonable suspicion, he said. Yeah, that's exactly what happens to the rest of us when we drive drunk and then crash our car in somebody's yard. Even if we're not drunk, that's how we get treated all the time. You look into our eyes and claim that they're red or that our pupils are dilated. You ask us where we were coming from, where we were headed. You smell us, you sniff us, and even if not true, you claim to smell alcohol. And then you make us perform a bunch of little stupid human tricks. This happens every day, even without us crashing in someone's yard. Since when do cops think that crashing in response to some invisible missing deer is not alone reasonable suspicion to investigate somebody for a DUI? The second obstruction count in this indictment alleges that Sheriff Harmon deleted or concealed GPS tracking data from his daughter's car on January 12th. Remember, the wreck happened back on January 6th. So he got to the scene and removed the GPS tracker from the car. He's also charged with subsequently deleting that data from the device and then lying about it to the investigators for the special prosecutor. You know what I think happened here? I have reason to believe that there were some police officers on the inside here who wanted to say something, who wanted to do something. So once there was a special prosecutor, then they came forward and spilled the beans, essentially. I do have reason to believe that that happened. So now the charges will proceed through the prosecution process. What's important to keep an eye on is that it's easy to charge something and then blast it out there in the media. But hopefully the special prosecutor does not cave. You cannot have a sitting sheriff who engaged in this sort of misconduct. You just can't. Now, of course, he's innocent until proven guilty, and he has his due process rights. That's why it's important to let that process play out. That's why it's important that this special prosecutor, who is alleged that the sheriff destroyed evidence and lied about it, obtains a conviction on those allegations. And that would ensure that this man is never again given the public's trust to be honest in the investigation and prosecution of American citizens. He absolutely cannot be allowed to skate on that. So people need to stay on top of this. And I'm sure my friend Spike Cohn, whom I did a video with about this guy, will indeed be on top of it. So spread the message and spread the footage. That is the only reason that the prosecutor's hand was forced here to bring in a special prosecutor. It was only the public outrage. Please also help this channel by subscribing, and also subscribe at the blog at thecivilrightslawyer.com to help me continue to educate people about their constitutional rights and about civil rights violations that are occurring all across the country. Please also support our channel sponsors for supporting your constitutional rights. Let me know in the comments your thoughts about this video, this topic, whether you see things differently or whether I missed something important. Again, it wouldn't be the first time. Remember, freedom is scary. Deal with it.